Is there a reason that we don't have volume?
It does have a pre-record that's just audio, and at the time when I initiate the activation, then it has audio. And to be correct, I was in the hallway headed towards that area.
No.
Where it's
Why don't we have audio? Does it take 30 seconds for the audio to come on?
It's when I activate it. So I believe it is set to a 30-second pre-video, and then once I activate the camera, the audio will kick on.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. How you doing? Troy. I'm Lieutenant Rowe. Lieutenant, so nice to meet you. I've got some evidence. You need to do this out here? Because I should probably write out something to go with this.
Like a chain of custody.
Statement.
Well, we would have a chain of custody there. So, yeah, come with me and we'll...
That's my wife.
Hi.
That's me.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Where was Marissa? Went back to her area? There he is.
Hello.
Outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just so we have like a chain of custody.
Where are we going?
Wherever you want to go to get the evidence. You can go to the interview. It's fine.
Sure. I can fill out a statement or something. Witness statement. When I'm a witness, I'm called here as a witness to the bus trial. And I live in Arizona, so it's a long way.
Right.
And I wanted to. When I got to the trial, they said at the last minute, they said, "Okay, I don't want you to testify."
No, right.
I'm supposed to bring some evidence, and then they didn't want the evidence.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to walk around with this evidence forever.
That's fair. That's fair. Whether you guys use it or not.
Yeah, I don't care what you do with it. I just don't want to have it.
That's okay.
And they're 45 cartridges. Like,
They're from the set?
no.
Okay.
No. You want to know the details?
Could you hear what the gentleman said?
Yes.
Was he asked if they were from the set?
Yes.
What was his response?
No.
Or do you want me to
Well,
write it down?
let me start with, what is your name, sir?
Troy. Well, that's a great start.
Troy what?
Troy Teske.
Can you spell that for me?
Teske. I've got all kinds of identification. You should see it. I'm
And were you getting called
a
by?
retired police officer.
By
And
the defense.
Defense? Okay.
Yeah. But they didn't end up using it.
Okay.
here's my police ID.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also a judge. You need to see that.
Sorry. I'm gonna drop them. Okay, so they were gonna have you bring 45 rounds?
Yeah, and at the last minute,
They talked to
The
her,
defense.
him on the phone. He was good. They said that they were going to have somebody pick it up from Arizona, which they never did. Okay, so he brought it out here just in case.
Becky, this is my story.
Okay, but get it out of here. I don't want it anymore. This is
Sir, do you recall this conversation?
Yes, I do.
Do you know when Mr. Teske is talking about being called as a witness in the Gutierrez trial, do you recall which side he was being called by?
I only learned that when he identified that.
What
Speaking
side?
now, on the defense side.
And when he said that he brought ammunition, but they didn't want to use it, was he referring to the prosecution or the defense?
I,
Is there any basis to know that?
If he doesn't, I'm assuming he'll tell me.
believe it's the defense.
Anyway, yeah.
all right. I want to go.
They told me to. The defense attorney said, "Hey, why don't you bring those rounds?" And I thought, and 2 times, Hancock and then Morrissey. Hancock first said way back on November 5th, and November 5th, 2021, which was a week after the shooting. Seth Kinney called me. You know Seth? Everybody seems to know Seth here. But Seth, he was a friend of mine. And Seth Kinney called me from Hancock's office. She was a detective at the time. And he said, "You're on the record. I want to know what's going on with you." Because I have these rounds from, it's the same batch. They came from Joe Swanson.
Okay.
You know him too?
Yeah, I know of him.
Everybody. That's
I've
awesome.
dealt with this case a lot.
Okay, well, that's perfect. The other perfect person to what's your first name?
Marissa.
Marissa? Oh.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm the crime scene technician.
All right. Well, I better jot that down. But I have some good notes on it. So when my big concern was having these. They said, "Oh, okay." I said, "I have these rounds. I have a batch, a whole bunch of rounds."
Okay.
Or a bunch. And then they. I said, "Well, you probably don't want me to send you the whole batch. You want me to just pull something out and send you a picture." So I took a picture with my phone, sent it to Seth, and he was in the office with Hancock. And they looked at it, and Seth said, "Yep, this is evidence from the accidental shooting."
Now, when you say they're from the same batch of
Yes.
live rounds?
Yes.
Okay.
It's if you know the case, Thel Reed had a whole bunch of live rounds,
Yes.
and Seth and Thel went to Yellowstone 1883, and he was teaching people how to shoot with these rounds.
Right.
Then they left there and they went together from Arizona, and then they came back and went to another set, which was
Sir, why does your video end there?
Because I walked out of the interview and was attempting to, or I did contact Detective Hancock to see who this individual was and why he was there turning in evidence, like he called it.
Okay. Did you know what it was evidence of?
He mentioned that it was tied to the Rust case.
Well, did he say in the video that it was not from the set of Rust?
No,
You didn't hear him say that?
I don't recall him saying that.
Yeah, I stopped it and I asked you what he said. Do you
Oh, I'm
remember
sorry.
giving that testimony?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry, yes.
So the gentleman said on the video it was not from the set of Rust.
Yes,
Okay. And you called Corporal Hancock, right?
correct.
And do you recall the conversation you had with her?
Yes, I asked her, an individual's here, gave her the name. I said, he claims that he has evidence. How do you want me to proceed turning it in and documenting it? Or if she was available to come over and interview him. And at that time, you guys were still involved in the Hannah Reed case. So she was unavailable. And she asked that it be documented. And she would have to do further investigation onto it and interviews.
Okay. I'll pass the witness. I don't know if you have any questions.